What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. So this YouTuber goes by the name of Davicate, and apparently she just did a video called the nose ring theory. Now, if you follow my channel or you pay attention to the ups and ends of what's going on in modern day dating or just in life, you already know you've seen the multicolored hair things with the septic rings in their noses, and they tend to be batshit insane. Or 9 out of 10 times, if you see a girl with a nose ring, you know her politics are radical as hell, probably support all of the bad shit, and then are the ones sitting there, again, poison in the well. They could be your daughter, they could be somebody's wife, they're every fucking where. Anyway, take it away, Davicate.
Hey again, guys. I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're gonna find interesting. Nose ring theory. And I just know that when I say that, half of you are gonna be confused, and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before. I will
See, and that's the thing, right? Because it wasn't always this way. In the past, a girl with a nose ring probably was just goth or emo, right? They knew that they were scuffed, but they held it together, right? They weren't as batshit insane as these screeching harpies that we have nowadays, or these girls skating through life, brain completely empty, but making decisions based on a whim of their emotions. Everything we're on the worst timeline right now.
I'll explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really.
Can I just say that that's actually kind of fucking insane? She says she's 24, but she's tried to have 5 serious relationships already. Already, she's off to a horrible fucking start. I don't think people understand, right? If you are having serious relationships, it should take time, right? Serious relationships take time. I get it. I, I, I miss when we were all kids, right? And the worst you got out of the dating field was, are you gay? No. Does your mama know you gay? Like we're so far beyond that bullshit now because the thing is it's not supposed to be this way. She's 24, but she's had 5 serious relationships at this point, and none of them has worked out. You mean to tell me you're not talking to any of them anymore? It's all just poof.
Get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking. You probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other. They're not friends. They're not from the same area. They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out.
No, that's actually not true. You do have a type, the type that doesn't want to stay with you. Now, why is that? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They do have something in common. This reminds me of Mia Khalifa, with Mia Khalifa's trying to brag and flex that she's any man that she ever wanted, she was able to get, and that they're the easiest thing in the world. It's not anything hard to get a man, and these men are beneath her and women like her. And somebody pointed it out. Well, if you're so above and beyond, why is none of the men still with you? It's because none of the men wanted you, right? So again, 24, 5 serious dates, none of them worked out. Kind of fucking insane.
What like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main issues that I've come.
Yo, that side eye from Davocate. She's like, yeah, I. When a woman gives you this look, right? Just understand, and she doesn't say anything, you already know the cogs are spinning in her head. Right? This is like that bullshit where it's like women who have no profession, don't have no work experience, become archaeologists, and like once you see that fucking look and you think you got ahead in an argument with them, and you feel like you're gonna finally win one for the boys, right? The boys is finally gonna take a W home, right? She just starts digging up bullshit from the past arguments, past life arguments from your fucking ancestors. She's just digging up shit like she's just digging up fossils from out of fucking nowhere. You already know.
To recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, like love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to like I don't know. Just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. I'm saying, for
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what it is. You're just talking bullshit online. For you to really sit there and say a whole sex just doesn't know the meat, like how to love and all of this other shit. Crazy work. Absolutely fucking crazy. Then again, you had 5 serious relationships in your life, and you mean to tell me the one thing? I mean, none of them had anything in common, but none of them was able to love you. You have a type, clearly.
for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but
Stop the cap. Yo, this fucking girl is lying. You heard what she said? All serious relationships, none of them work. They all said she's the love of their life. She's lying. This is she farming for clips or whatever the fuck it is? What is the equivalent of what she's doing right now? I don't believe a damn thing. How many horns does she have? I know she has the fucking millipede horns or the beetle horn in her nose, but she also got some shit on her lips that look like fangs. What is that? I've never seen a piercing like that.
when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. Like, I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love.
Yo, I didn't even see the piercing on the top bridge of her nose, right? So she has like these fucking piercings in her lips, which I know for a fact must hurt this fucking girl whenever she accidentally punctures her bottom lip with that shit. Imagine you sleep or you bite hard in your sleep and that shit fucking cuts you in your sleep. I'm pretty sure they don't take these out every night, right? So, oh man.
Love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I started calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank period. Otherwise you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely like offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And like, I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. Like, they just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. Like, that is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just like, I don't know where it's coming.
No, damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's one thing for you to do things that hurt the person, but now you're also getting blamed for indirectly hurting the person, even when you're not trying to hurt the person. If the person gets hurt, yeah, that sounds about right. That checks out, right? She literally just gave up the game. That checks out. I've gotten in trouble, and mind you, I've been out of the game for years. I gotten in trouble one time for a girl waking up and thinking that I did something wrong, and she was actually mad about a fucking dream. She was mad about some shit in a dream that I did in a fucking dream. I don't think it was something stupid like cheating. I think I just was being mean to her in a dream, and she, for some time, took that shit out on me. Like, and I just was like, "Yo, what is this? That doesn't even make sense. I'm right here. All I'm doing is playing Gears of War. What the fuck?"
From. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but like I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator. And unfortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are always driven to turmoil, people began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, "The piercing theory is so true," with over 700 likes. And again, don't know.
But the thing is, it's not just the fucking piercings, right? The piercings is, you can easily just be like, yeah, piercings. But again, like I said, in my time growing up, you had girls with piercings. Those was just the goth girls or the emo girls or just the rough girls that actually like grimdark shit, right? But they still held themselves to a certain standard. Her fucking problem, and again, I guess Daffodil, you're trying to be on the middle road. I hope this doesn't become another Courtney Ryan thing, because I will suss your ass out after looking at a couple of videos. I have no problem putting you on a pedestal, and then once I see you're fucking up, kicking that shit right from underneath you. Now, mind you, I'll make sure that you fall into like a Playboy pin or some shit like this, but I don't do the bullshit. There was plenty in this video to see that her there was enough in the video to see that she does a lot of projection. There's a lot of shit that she says that does not add up with what she's trying to put forward. And just overall, she just seems to be just an unhinged individual. Like, she's just fucking off. Let's be honest there. If she had none of the piercings and she was talking like this, she would still be fucking annoying. But let's continue.
No, don't care, nose ring theory with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory? If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
And she agrees? It's dead ass.
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth. Or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth. You know,
don't no.
You get it.
No,
you get
don't
it.
ever
And
do that
if even
again.
the person with the nose ring is saying it's true, I mean, there's gotta be something there. And this is just even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Yo, you guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me, okay? I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are...
Wow! How do you grow up with 2 moms? Okay, we get how you that's why you're fucked up. That's where it is. That's why you're fucked up. That's the reason why nothing is ever your fault. This is the reason why they all have nothing in common, but they all have something in common. It's you. You are the problem. You are the damaged goods. You're going to continue to be the damaged goods. You had 3 moms. So they didn't even like each other. They didn't even hold on. So they didn't even like each other, dog. Did you know between men and women, man and man, and woman and woman and woman marriages are the highest in divorce rates compared to man and man. Man and man is actually the lowest divorce rates. It's the women.
off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man hater or anything. Actually, no, fully to be a man hater. Fully to be a man hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just...
Damn, so she just gave up the game already. She gave up the game. Like, that's what it is. She was always the fucking problem. One of the biggest problems in our society, to our civilization, is women going online and posting their L's. And that's exactly what this is. I don't even think that this is the septum ring theory, right? Because the thing is, if this girl had no piercings and was like this, it would be exactly the same. She hasn't even started talking about her politics, right? The thing is that when you, now granted, no, it's right. Because this girl is batshit crazy. This girl is batshit crazy because one, she's putting all of her business out there, or maybe she's making up shit to try to get some type of traction online. I guess that's the way that she does it. But this would even be considered. So the thing is, this would just be an annoying chick, right? This would just be an annoying chick. This is not. This is not. When I'm thinking a girl with a nose ring, right? When you're thinking nose ring girl problems, this girl right here hasn't shown me exactly just yet what it is. And the reason why I say that is because all of the shit that she's doing right now is just average annoying girl bullshit, right? here's the thing, and this is sad and fucked up to say it like this, right? But your nose ring theory, right, compared to our nose ring theory, we are not the same. My nose ring theory is destroying civilizations. Now, granted, she's doing it on a smaller scale, but this is just an annoying girl. They've always existed. Oh, she grew up with three moms all of a sudden. Okay, sure, that's a little bit abnormal, but nothing different. Oh, she hates men. Which women do you know don't hate men until they run into some guy who puts her on a straight and narrow? Let's be real here. They're taught to hate us.
Doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going poorly. I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors. This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous, and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies seem to...
Now, here's the deal. What difference does that fucking make? Because again, whether the girl has piercings or not, there's girls without piercings or not that engage in relationships of just hookups or whatever like that, and just sexual liberation. There's no real big difference in that sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here saying that the research is off. I'm just sitting here saying she's just the typical girl at this point. Our women are slowly degrading into trash.
point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder. Now, this is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg...
What's your body count? Stop playing. Don't be rude, baby girl. What's your body count then? Now, again, I realistically, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just joking here. But here's the thing. Let's see if the research is true. Your body count in the double digits yet?
beg the question. Could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring? My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about...
I know you couldn't see it because I don't have a webcam right now, but my eyes rolled super hard. My eyes rolled super hard. My eyes rolled so hard I saw my brain.
her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation. In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in very happy relationships with men.
Oh, fuck no. That's a whole demon. And you know what's the funniest thing? The funniest thing is the girls who are actually really about it and they're not trying to be extra, even though they probably look crazy extra, they tend to be some of the most nicest, sweetest individuals. Yeah, they may sit there and listen to fucking Slipknot and fucking Al Santa and all of this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Hawthorne Nights and all of this shit. Yeah, see, I'm flexing my white boy music that I used to listen to. Anyway, they may listen to Corn. You know what I'm saying? They may listen to that shit, but at the same time, can be some of the. Like, they know that they're scruffed. They embrace it. It's like as we go on in more and more years, what I'm finding out is that you have these outside groups that are just adopting other niches. What do you like? For example, if you find a girl who has the emo aesthetic or has the goth aesthetic, there 9 out of 10 times now it seems as though there's nothing. They're only taking the aesthetic. It's kind of like when you're seeing all of these girls claim to be trad wives or conservative girls, and then you find out that they're grifters and they're still feminists and they're still whores and they're still sexually liberated girls. You know, like Ashley St. Clair and Tommy Lauren and Lauren Southern, all of those fucking girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the thing is, and the irony is that I had my friends have to fight me because I was drawn to a pale girl in high school, and they was sitting there saying homegirl is the grudge, and I was gonna shoot my shot. I didn't shoot my shot with no girls in that school, but I was gravitating towards her when I had three different friends. Mind you, West Indian, Jamaican, Trinidadian, all three of them fighting, talk about you're the only black friend we have. This is again, when I be sitting here saying that we different, black people different, trust me, you're the only black friend we have. We can't lose you. Literally cock blocking. And not cock blocking because they wanted it, they wanted the girl. Cock blocking because they genuinely was afraid. I thought the girl was beautiful. Then she eventually, apparently, when I left the school, she ended up being a lesbian. But she was beautiful, dog, just pale as hell. And looking like the girl from The Grudge. But yeah, that girl right there looks like a demon. No revenge because my boyfriend and I have a relationship most people can only dream of and are committed to each other for eternity. Dog, we're gonna turn around and it's gonna be Hellraiser, but with tits. I guarantee you. We're gonna change. Listen. It says best cat dad ever, right? So this is a sensitive soul. I guarantee you. Mind you, her hand is on his hand, and like when we turn the fucking camera around, when we swap the position, the rest of her arm is gonna be on fire, and it's gonna look like fucking who's the guy from the MCU with on the motorcycle on fire with the skull? Skull Man. What the fuck is wrong with me? Hellraiser? No, not Hellraiser. Pinhead? No, 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 no. Ghost Rider. It's probably not that bad. She's probably bad.
What is this?
That's crazy. I thought that they was gonna show the girl.
What is this, please?
Also, it's so funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys. But this is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it, right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is just that. A theory, an idea worth discussing. Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized? Yeah, probably, but does it make them inherently undateable? No. Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that
So you're saying avoid pattern recognition because that sounds like a fascist thing that's popping off on Twitter. I kind of like this one, Davica's fucking stance on it. Like, I don't think that she's a fence sitter like Courtney Ryan, like how Courtney Ryan rubbed off on me. I mean, because it's true, right? Just because a girl has piercing, that doesn't mean that it's the worst thing in the world. And it's not surprising that those type of girls go for guys who tend to be gamer guys or guys who get overlooked. Here's the deal, right? You had the hot girls in high school or whatever like that, right? And they would tend to go after the fly boys or the jocks and shit like this, right? But just like how you had alpha dudes And then you had Sigma dudes, which alpha dudes are the leaders of the pack, but Sigmas are leaders themselves that can challenge alphas, but they don't give a fuck about the status norms. They're trendsetters, not trend getters, right? And the thing that's in Sigmas, right, are more dangerous than alphas, right? If you cross a Sigma, he can absolutely destroy an alpha. But then when you got, like, say for example, the top, let's say queen bee, I don't know what you would call a top female, right? Alpha female. But then, right, when you had those goth girls or whatever like that, goth girls, whenever you had the hot fucking girl that looked like Princess Peach, you also had the fucking Daisy and black and pale daisies and the, you know what I'm saying? And those girls, right? They didn't go after the jocks. The jocks couldn't get those girls, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was possible, but jocks didn't have high success with those girls, right? And the thing is, the jocks also never disrespected those girls, right? For the most part, they didn't. And those girls went after what they considered something attractive. So what they would go after would be, yes, the gamer boys, or Mr. Steal Your Girl, a motherfucker that looked like Jeff Hardy, right? And mind you, I say it to this day, Jeff Hardy, the architect of Jeff Hardy, right? He comes in and he does that fucking hip thrust with the fucking cool pants and shit like this. Girls, it doesn't matter what race they are, they love that shit. We're talking popular pretty girls, we're talking tough chicks, we're talking black, white, we're talking emo chicks, goth chicks. They ate that shit up. That's just how it was. That's just how it was. So it's not surprising that goth girls don't go after the fucking most appealing alpha guys. They don't need them.
That has been my analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video. Consider subscribing. We are so close to the big 500,000, the big 500,000 subscribers. And drop any comments that you have on the subject down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm and grow my channel. And if you want even more from me than you can find here, consider joining my Patreon at patreon.com/thedadvocate for early access to my videos, exclusive content, and exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. I will catch you in the next one. Until soon.
I don't know. I'm not subscribed. I don't like your name. You call yourself the Davocate. Here you go infringing and fucking invading spaces. We don't like your kind. No, this was a good video. This was a pretty good video. I may react to another one of her videos in the future or look at some of her stuff from now on. Anyway, that's the video. Catch you guys next time.